This is Craig Raney from REPAY. I manage our strategic partnerships here at REPAY, and I'm delighted to welcome Aaron Rieter, Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing from InterProse today, who's a valued partner of REPAY, and wanted to talk partnerships and talk about how our companies work together. Welcome, Aaron. Good to see you.
Thanks, Craig. Good to see you too.
Perfect. Well, I guess if we can start off here, tell us a little bit about InterProse.
Well, InterProse is a software provider. We are a service company at our core and have a SaaS-based full debt recovery platform that serves the ARM market. Our philosophy is more of an open platform, so we don't have any restrictions on who the partners can be. They can integrate in. It's not vertically integrated. We're not a dialer company. We're never going to be a dialer company. That kind of thing. We're not a payment processor. So we value our strategic relationships as much as our customers do.
I'm curious, what are you hearing from your customers regarding maybe the biggest benefits that they achieve from using the integrated solution?
Well, one of the benefits for having the payment processors integrated in is that the gateway is integrated into the platform, and the customers and the agents, payment desks, whoever's dealing with taking transactions, which is the primary thing we're trying to facilitate with this software, it's all seamless. So payment posting, the return files, everything gets automated, and it's nice and clean. So when they're setting up, they don't have to go to a disparate interface to say set up a payment plan and then go back into the system and transcribe that in later, wasting time. It's all done in the same place through that API connection and gateway integration to the payment processor. It's nice and clean. And they always, especially when I'm talking to a prospect who has kind of an older version of a platform that doesn't have an integration with the payment processor, or they've never taken advantage of that advancement or version of that platform that does that, their eyes get wide. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe all the time we're wasting and transcription errors that we have to deal with, with payment processing. So kind of a big deal.
I'm curious what you would consider maybe the three top drivers needed to win customers in today's collection market.
Oh my gosh, I mean, that's entirely dependent on what the product is, right? So from our perspective, the top drivers are saving time. So process automation is key. You can no longer afford to pay people to do the monotonous, mind-numbing tasks that make work suck. Having a robot take care of that stuff is far more cost effective. Compliance, especially supplying audit attestations, is huge because it's a massive financial investment and time investment for agencies, and it's not their core competency, right? They don't understand half the questions that get asked. I know I don't. I'm like, send that off to the dev guys, and we spend months going through PCI audits and penetration testing and SOC audits for all that stuff. And probably the third thing is a relationship for support with their provider.
What's been the key to building customer loyalty there and keeping those retention numbers so high for InterProse?
Well, I mean, retention is a major issue for every customer, for every business. At its core, it is very hard to move off of a software platform that supports your debt recovery process. And we know that it's not that we take that relationship for granted and wouldn't exploit that effort that it would take to move off the system. Our primary goal is to never even have the thought cross someone's mind that they would leave the system, because every month the system is updated and upgraded to stay ahead of the market. So we're perpetually iterating this platform.
What do you see as kind of the most common payment issues that your customers deal with?
Probably the most common issues they're getting is they want to know how to seamlessly deal with um, NSS, or payments that fail, or
Yep.
the connection's pretty much handled. We don't have to worry about that so much anymore, but we have to worry about whether or not there's funds available and what happens then within the system.
Well, we saw, a monster shift as far as customers looking to implement new technology because the old way to do things just didn't work out in this
Sure.
new way of life. Curious how how that affected InterProse and maybe some changes that you saw.
We saw more trends, and the in-person pays decreased that we could see across the board. So, people walking into the agency to make drop off a check or make a payment in person, it decreased. People just weren't getting together in person, which meant they were leveraging those online tools more. And we supply a virtual agent through the platform that gives the consumer the ability to go in and make a payment online.
What prompted you to become a REPAY partner?
Oh, for us,
what kicked us off? Yeah.
yeah, for us, it is entirely market driven. We have, as a principle around integrated vendors is that we're vendor agnostic, right? So when our customers come to us and say, I want to use this payment processor, REPAY was one of the early ones that kind of came up in that, especially for me here, but the market really dictated who's integrated, and we were enthusiastic about bringing in REPAY because your representation was good, support was good, our customers were pleased with the service. It's the ones we were bringing in that were new, and they wanted to retain that relationship, and we're all for it.
How has partnering with REPAY helped grow your business, if at all?
So it's twofold, and the first is that we have a high quality group of vendors that we work with, and REPAY is at the upper echelons of our list of payment processing vendors that we provide to our customers as options. Secondly, having that referral arrangement going towards REPAY means that I've been able to develop a good relationship with your sales staff.
I've got one last one for you, and I hope it's a
Okay.
softball. But how likely would you be to recommend REPAY to others?
Well, I do it all the time.
Love it. That is perfect. That's the best answer. Yeah. On that note, I just want to thank you for your time, Aaron, and appreciate you and InterProse being value partners of ours, and look forward to catching up at the next show.